How are you?
I'm good. Had a week off, and
yes, we did,
which was like super nice. And
So we mean a week off work rather than say a week off streaming.
Both.
I mean, we did have a week off streaming too, but
we did both those things.
Yeah, I kind of feel like suggesting that what made it super nice was not necessarily that we missed streaming, but more that we didn't have a week at work.
Yes, yeah. Yeah, because if you are a member of our mailing list, and if you're not a member of our mailing list, you should definitely go to pillbug.zone and sign up. You should get a free copy of the soundtrack of our last game. I love streaming, and I've been enjoying it since we've done this because I get to play games that I don't get time to play any other time.
Yep,
that's a sentence.
Totally fair. Yes, yeah, we could pass that.
Yeah, for example, Enter the Gungeon is a game I bought maybe 2 Christmases ago in the Steam sale.
Nice.
And I think I had like 88 minutes on 88 minutes on record on my Steam profile, and I loved it. I just haven't got around to playing it much. So
88 minutes isn't too bad, is it?
It's pretty good, but like I barely have got anywhere. And I did actually delete my save, because we've been thinking a lot about pacing for our next game, so I thought it would be useful for us to see what this is like from a fresh pair of eyes, or from a new
I'm trying to remember what you even have saved in Gungeon. Is it just like your diary? Isn't that the only thing that saves?
Yeah, let's find out.
Or do some of the extra characters get unlocked?
Well, I thought you unlocked the characters, but I actually already have these guys. I'm pretty sure I deleted the I'm pretty sure I deleted it.
Yeah, fair enough. I'll believe you.
Yeah. Reset slave slot process. Oh yeah, 0 hours. Okay, there we go.
Okay.
Let's just do it anyway.
So maybe this is just where you start with anyway.
Yeah.
So.
The music is really good in this game.
Yeah.
Right.
Man.
What should I go? So the Marine. I guess the Marine is more standard guy, right? The pilot, the convict. This person's got a dog.
Yeah, the hunter's pretty sweet.
Yeah, I've not tried the hunter, so I'm going to try the hunter. I can't even remember the controls. The animation's great. Everything's great. Do you want to dump the store page link into the chat? Oh, that was another character I could have picked.
Yeah, you can pick the cultist.
Okay. Right, so controls. Right, okay, right. Yeah, so we were just talking to JR before the start of the stream. I am trying controller. I did wonder about using keyboard and mouse. If here, you must be in your arrival. Right, well, you're not. Okay, so I guess I'm going to go in there. I really can't remember. Okay.
So yeah, I have a feeling that anyone who's like super into indie games probably has this game already. Oh wow, you're going to have to do the tutorial? Nice.
Well, I can't remember, so I need to do this.
This is actually useful for you.
Yeah.
That's sad.
But I can roll through books, I remember that.
Yeah. It's so funny that like I think rolling is like one of the most important things in this game.
Yeah.
And it's like again the first thing you did do on the tutorial, and yet when things go to hell, it's often the first thing I forget to do. I'm like you're just spamming bullets rather than actually
rolling. I'm very much a roller.
You're a roller. Okay. Limp Bizkit would be proud.
Not vulnerable against. Okay, so you're. It's interesting. You're invulnerable to gunfire during the first half, but not vulnerable again when you hit the ground.
Yeah.
Okay, I can do this. I'm ready.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm ready to go. Oh, I see. Okay, because you jump. Right. Actually, so rolling actually makes sense.
Yeah.
in this one.
It is literal rolling.
Yeah.
Well, jumping really, isn't it? Like a
it is
forward
actually,
somersault.
yeah. So it's kind of like you jump.
So what they've managed to do there, which I think is a super sweet design choice, is combine the ability to be immune to things and jumping over obstacles at the same time, which is like that's such elegant design, right? Because you're going to jump loads and loads and loads, and then when you're going to hit a river, you're going to know exactly what to do, and it doesn't need a separate action or ability.
Oh, I remember the blanks. Okay.
Blanks, yeah.
Whoop.
This one felt like a less good design, if I'm honest. Like, why a blank clears the way of other people's bullets? I'm not as convinced by that one, if I'm honest.
But that's just your kind of like smart bomb, right?
Yeah. So why not call it smart bomb?
Okay, yeah, fair enough. Because everything here has to be to do with guns. Like, that's the idea.
I feel like that could have been. It could have been like something else.
Okay. So, okay, the pea shooter, right? So. Okay.
Yeah, I was pointing out that they make... Is that what the default is? That they make you press two things to activate a blank rather than a single button?
Yeah, I'm kind of like... My eyes are very focused on the game at the moment, so...
Yeah. So I think if that's the suggestion might be that a next level thing is to change that to one button rather than two, so that you don't have to press two buttons. However, their thinking might also be... I remember, like... as in not being very good at this game, pressing blanks when I didn't mean to press them. So maybe the two buttons will help you not do that. Ooh, well dodged.
Yeah, I remember the controls feeling weird because it's like using the shoulder button, which is like not necessarily the natural. Oh, not shotgun.
Can you not change that? Is the controls customizable?
Maybe, but I like to use the controls that
a game comes with.
To kind of get a sense of what they wanted it to feel like.
Yeah, that's fair.
Okay, there's also then you change your items, medkit. So I'm guessing. Right trigger. So okay, so the right trigger uses items. Is that what it's saying? Okay, probably didn't need to use that just yet. Oh, this is the transport thing, right? So this is very okay. So this is very similar to Dark Dead Cells. Obviously, this came first.
Yeah.
Got it. Okay. Oh. Oh, okay. I get it. Yeah.
Are we learning yet?
Yeah. You can warp to... So, okay, not... Right, okay. So you don't have to be on a teleporter.
No.
You should explore, try to find a better gun before you challenge the boss. Okay, so here we go. Here's the loop then, right?
Yeah.
Okay. What I really like about this, like, it's the attention to detail in terms of everything in this game is a bullet or gun, right?
Yeah, or can be shot, right? Like everything's
I mean, just like the character design.
Oh, I see what you mean. Sorry. Yes. Yeah. It's very clever, very funny. But I mean, I think once you commit to a theme, like a gungeon, then I feel like that theme kind of really reinforces itself almost.
Yeah.
But it's better. Like that's something that we're toying around with, like at the moment, isn't it? With the game we're working on, is like, because we made some early decisions, like, do we want all our stuff to be to do with insects if our main character is an insect, or if we've got a character that's a crustacean, like where's the unity in that, right? Like, this has that unity of puns, the gun puns.
Yeah. Oh, there's a crack there, but I don't have anything to blow that up with.
Your pea shooter is not going to do much to that.
No.
So did I miss it? Did you actually enter the Gungeon, or are you still in the
I'm still in the tutorial. I forgot, to be honest, about the tutorial.
That's right.
Actually, it's been useful, obviously, because I forgot everything.
Yeah, because you've remembered stuff, yeah.
The way I'm holding this controller, it feels very awkward. I'll be like... I get it, but that it is an awkward fit. Right, okay, hang on. If you have 2 more guns, hold Y to slow down time. Pick the one you want. Okay. Use Y, switch guns. Okay, right. Hey! Okay, so...
Now we're crack-a-lacking.
Yeah, this is a proper gun. So I could just... So I've got my better gun, so I could just go for the boss now. Is that what this is? No, that's not. That's just a teleporter. Is that, or is that
yeah,
the teleporter to the boss?
That's not what the boss looks like, if I remember rightly.
Okay. So where do I...
It might be the end of the tutorial, though.
Well, no, I have to go to the boss, so I have to, like...
Okay.
She said that I had to... Oh, it's up top. I haven't been up top yet. Yeah, there we go. Do you think this might be where the boss is?
Yeah,
in this big, skull-looking
skull
thing?
structure, yeah.
Okay.
That's the badger.
I'm ready for the final challenge. Yeah. Okay, whew. Now, can I... face... Oh.
Yeah. What a twist. Can the student become the master? Well, okay, yes, maybe. That was some fairly reasonable shooting. So, do you think, because I'm obviously going to distract you while you're doing the boss fight.
Yeah, sure.
Do you think that the fact that you are mostly killing things to do with guns, like bullets and people with guns and, gun-related pun-based things...
Yeah.
Do you think that makes it easier for someone who doesn't like guns to play Enter the Gungeon?
I was thinking about this, yes. No.
No, you don't think so. Okay.
No, I did, like, it is a bit like... Yeah. So
it's
I just
a bit
picked...
gunny, isn't it?
Well, I just picked up Division 2. And I like it. It's kind of, like it's is that the Gungeon?
Oh yeah,
yes.
Is it not? Yeah.
I'm gonna just run it now and see if I can try and talk and play at the same time. Division 2, like, it's like Destiny but in the real world, and it's all about flanking, and the combat's really interesting. But the start of the game is like, it's like kind of post-apocalyptic. Okay. And there's this whole there's this whole thing going on. What have I got? Oh, crossbow.
Yep. Because you're a hunter, right?
Yeah. Okay. Oh, look at, oh, you.
Good noises.
Yeah.
Nice. Yeah.
I keep putting the tables over and then not using them as cover.
That's because that requires some skill.
That would require standing still. That is not something I want to do. Oh.
Yeah, you don't think you got the finesse for the single fire button.
Oh, that's some like revolver ocelot shit there. Yes. What was I going to say? Okay, so Division 2, like so the start of the game is all about, like, you see this long thing like, oh no, not. poop.
Nice. Wow, they've ramped up the enemies, haven't they?
Yeah. And like it's going through the idea about the collapse of society, right? And then so it's talking about for I can't remember how it got to it, but that's nasty. At some
You're not
point,
going to be able to talk, are you? Like this game does not let you stream and chat. Nice, doing a good job.
There we go. So I guess the hunter is all about being accurate, right?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, that crossbow's powerful, but yeah.
Yes. So at some point during this intro of the whole story, you're being told about how it's the end of the world and everything. And then they're talking about who survived, and at some point it just went to, and did you have a gun? Do your neighbors have guns? And it was a bit like survival, prepper-y type.
Oh yeah.
It felt a bit.
Did it make you a little uncomfortable?
Yeah. Have I got money?
Yeah, you pick up.
Oh, the gold, of course.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Okay.
I think you're a ways off. Yeah. Anything. Yeah.
So this is a roguelike, then, isn't it?
It sure is.
Sure.
Sean. Sure is.
Okay. It's a bullet hell roguelike.
Yeah. So I mean I appreciate that, like, kind of saying, oh, is it a bit shooty? It seems a bit ridiculous from a development team that brought you such shooty games as Cycle 28.
Yeah.
But is there something like slightly different of the to be found in the increased?
I got a lowercase r.
That's good.
That does kind of look like a gun. Yeah, go on. Sorry. Yeah.
Is that like, because even when we were thinking about the age restrictions on games, right? We have
rating
to
for yeah.
Rate. Yeah, that's the word I was looking for.
Peggy, what are we?
Yeah, that's a good question. I want to say, is it 8 or something like that?
Not go over here.
No, there's a table unpushed over, so you clearly didn't go over.
Yeah.
So anyway, the idea is like fantasy violence obviously comes lower. Oh, nice! Wow.
I like this thing.
The gun's legit. That lowercase r is legit.
It's firing off letters that sell blam. Evening Cash. Yeah. It's got to go on. So you were saying?
So fantasy violence obviously rates lower than realistic violence. This is obviously not realistic violence, but there's a lot of guns. But is that even more slightly perturbing than spaceships shooting each other in space, which is obviously so far from reality that, well, at least at the moment, that like that's okay, even more okay for us, maybe. I don't know. Existential questions is not necessarily what you need right now.
well, no, like we kind of, I think without saying it, we are like deliberately moving away from games that are like shooty games.
Yeah, fair enough. Which is kind of a shame.
This lowercase r is like
take a long time to reload.
Yeah. Oh, it's saying bullet.
Yeah.
And it's actually saying, but I mean, like I kind of like there is that problem of like the core, the way most games are is like you kill things or blow stuff up.
Yeah.
And I still want to make games like that because they're the games that I played. It seems silly, right? Oh no.
Well, so I mean, the way I look at it, either rightly or wrongly, is that most contemporary games, either you are killing things or you're building things. So, like, and sometimes you're doing both, obviously.
Yeah, you're building things to kill things.
To kill things, yeah. Or you're killing things by building things. Oh god. So I mean, maybe we end up just doing kind of one killing game, one building game, one killing game, one building game. I don't know. But, definitely felt like after playing Cycle 28 for months and months on end in development, then months and months on end past release, we kind of wanted to just have some nice times building some stuff.
Yeah, and have some happy building.
Happy building times where we weren't constantly on the edge of our seat. So yeah. That is to say, like, this obviously heavily comes under fantasy violence and gets away with a lot for it, and I think it's great for that. But I think if you don't like guns, like as a concept, or just the problem of shooting things, is, you know, there are other games out there for you, and this one's not for you.
So I was watching, like was GDC recently, right? What the hell? Okay, so is he bath? Like, anyway.
It was your fantasy violence.
Yeah. So when GDC happens, we often then like spend ages watching GDC talks, like on the Vault and stuff. And someone was talking about like how to get your game noticed, and specifically to do with like finding a niche. And like he was talking about like finding a niche hobby, so like that isn't necessarily associated with games.
Okay, that's interesting.
So specifically that he was talking about car, like is there like an active reload thing in this?
Yeah. I think
How
so.
do you do that? Like, is there a timing? You know, like on Gears?
I mean, again, I've mainly played on the Switch version, which I'm assuming is pretty much the same. It looks very much the same. When you run out, it will reload. But if you want to reload earlier, you can. There is a button to reload.
Yeah, and then you get it reloads quicker.
I don't know if it does reload quicker compared to if you run out.
Okay. Ooh. So he was talking about like you find this niche community that isn't necessarily associated with games, and you base something on that.
Okay.
So is this like
like cross stitching the game?
Dodge up. Is that just my dodge is now better? But that thing's following me now. There's a red thing following me.
Try dodging.
So like we talked because I don't know, like because we talked to begin with about whether or not our next game was going to be all about trains, and then we would kind of actually try and do it well and figure out, like, you know, in a way that people who like trains would understand what we were talking about.
Well, which I was resistant to, partly because I don't like trains.
Yeah.
And like not in that way anyway. I mean, they're
no, that's you're misunderstanding.
They're just like in their kind of hobbyist way.
Yeah.
I was never one of those kids that wanted to go watch a train.
Yeah.
So I felt, like I think that's a bit of a like question as well. Like, do you need to be into that niche yourself to fully, represent that in a game?
Yeah.
Awesome.
Oh, I need to reload.
But also,
come on.
There are a ton of games for train fans. Like, how many games are there for knitting fans?
Yeah, that's true.
Probably a few, but definitely fewer than the number of train games.
To be clear, that our next game is not to do with knitting.
Or trains.
How is the teleport again? Ah, there we go.
Testing.
So, the roguelikiness of this then. So I could have gone into the boss room, but I didn't. I came back here because I'm going to see what's in here.
Sure.
I wonder if that means anything. There's like a... Ooh. Yeah, everything in this game is so well designed. Like,
yeah, it really is.
Not sure about the camera. I don't know. Like, there's times where I'm coming off the screen, which feels a bit weird. But you know, like, I'm not gonna criticize.
No, fair dues. The simplicity of the is it simplicity? Maybe that's not the right word. The enemy design is brilliant. Like, it doesn't need, like, those enemies don't need to do massively drastically different things, but they feel great. Right? I think they've done like some of that's animation, which is like you said earlier, like they've done a really good job of using the pixel animation, like to at its best. Oh, this guy's a laugh. But I'm sure your lowercase r will carry you through.
Yeah.
Yeah, I like how ripped this guy gets. Just brilliant.
Shit.
So yeah, the tables stop you as well, by the way, just in case you've forgotten.
Oh, how do I haven't got anything to heal. Shh, this is not good.
Don't forget your blanks, if that helps. Can you fire a blank while you're reloading?
Oh no, the tables are destructible.
Yeah, oh yeah, the tables are definitely destructible. Okay, oh yeah.
Oh, I can reload while I'm doing this.
Yeah. You could also be pow-pow-powing him, right? While he was doing that. Well, it's not a bad effort after the tutorial. No, well, okay, yeah, it wasn't great,
okay, so
but it wasn't
P shooter
bad.
has joined the shootout. So here's right. So I wonder how. So what do you get then for dying? Then, if I return, I'm going to return to Breach, and I'm going to pick another character. I definitely can't. No, I can't pick. Yes, I can't pick that guy yet.
You can't pick the class yet.
I'm gonna go with the Marine. I think I did best with the Marine before.
Well, that's because you're some kind of military-based guy, aren't you? Really?
Yeah.
Yeah. Just at heart, You've shacked up with a kind of a pacifist hippie arts person somehow.
Cultist is for player 2. So they don't have online, like... Oh, this is not good.
See, because I've only ever played this game, really, with friends. So, like, someone's just always been able to do the cultist.
I see.
So that makes sense.
The other really good thing about it is, like, and they have to do this, is how clear it is what kills you. Like, the bullets clearly look different to everything else.
Oh, yeah.
That's so important.
Yeah, and it's not like the background is quiet, is it? It's very busy.
Yeah. It is, yeah, but it somehow works. It doesn't feel too busy.
Well, you can't miss them. Well, I mean, you can, and frequently do, but it's not because you weren't able to see them, really.
Yeah, go on. Come on, come towards the thing.
Because that was something, like, people were struggling a little bit with Cycle 28 for some reason, and we were a bit surprised at, actually, because I thought they were different enough.
Yeah,
some people wanted red bullets for the player, right? Like, that's something people kind of were talking about.
I can't remember the specificness of red, but people definitely like. Do you think? I think that's something we probably would change, right? The palette. Maybe?
I think so. Yeah. Like if it's just for the bullets, that's no big deal, is it?
Oh, what's this?
But we were concerned in some ways, I suppose, that actually, like, the more complicated the screen looks, the harder it would be. But obviously, this game manages it. So, but then, does this screen ever get as complicated as the Cycle 28?
Well, all the like books and particles that are going on.
Yeah, but they're not things you need to keep track of. They're things that they're visually, but you can kind of ignore. It's just if it's moving or if it's a bullet, right? Which are always moving.
Yeah. I suppose the other thing is you have direct control in this. Oh, look. Oh, no. Books sending letters at me. As an author, how do you feel about that?
It feels like books are sending letters at me all the time. as well. Like, yeah, books are not my friends. They are.
Okay, 1, 2, 3, or 4, Dave.
4. They haunt me, books, in that sense.
Saying that's 4. There is not. There is an online co-op. They said they weren't going to add it, which is fair enough. Like, I mean, online is hard. I can't imagine like how you would even go.
Nice. Done.
And it is just. It's like I love. Yeah.
Local co-op's great though on this game,
Yeah.
especially if you are playing it on Switch. That's great.
Yeah. I think we're not allowed to say that things are better on Switch anymore.
I didn't
It's
say
like
that it was better. I said it
yeah.
was great on Switch.
So, do you want to talk about what we've been up to?
Sure.
What have we been up to?
It's
been like a really good, like it's, you know, we had time off work, but
you did work.
I did some Pillbug stuff, yeah. 1 or 2, left or right?
Left.
Okay.
I thought you were just gonna go right there. It's just like everything I say, the opposite. What have we been up to? So you've been working more on some of the prototypes for the game we're making, which I will, if we haven't revealed on stream, I'm going to reveal on stream now. It's working title.
Yeah, go for it. Yeah,
okay.
Yeah.
So as I said, it is a working title. We're testing it around, so we'd love to hear some early feedback responses, knee-jerk kind of gut reaction responses to just how it sounds. But the working title at the moment for Game 3 is Making It Home. Making it home. So, me and Sean are already disputing how we're going to pronounce it. Sean likes to drop the G. I find that a bit difficult. I don't naturally drop my G's, so but making it home, I suppose, is sounds a little bit more street. Not that it's a game that's at all street.
No.
But what we've been doing on Making It Home, I'm just going to start dropping it into a lot of sentences to try and kind of
that's the best way to kind of test it.
Ooh,
what's this thing?
Yeah. You've been doing prototyping for Making It Home, which has been about that looks like a hand cannon.
It's got like bombs in it, I think.
Yeah. Which has involved kind of making the vehicle, the player's vehicle that you're building along the way, because you are making a home as well as making it home. We've been making those panels a bit more responsive for the player, a bit more visually cued in so that you can see what your panels are doing. What's your gun doing?
Oh, I've got to hold it, and I just lost I don't know how much health is it.
So much health.
I don't know what my. Oh, I can put. Okay. I lost lots of health there, but I also discovered I have like an ability as this guy.
Okay.
Which was to call in this. Oh, but okay.
Like an airdrop.
I guess that was ammo, not the thing I actually needed. I think I can buy some stuff off this dude.
So that's what Sean's been doing. He's been programming that all in. It's been great. What else have we been doing? We've been playing around with a new kind of mechanic, which I think, I don't mind talking about, right? So,
yeah.
So we've, a boomerang's good in Spelunky, so it must be good in this game too.
I could buy the, yeah, sure. Let's do it. And I haven't got enough money, so no.
You haven't got enough money for the boomerang. So we had some. So wind power is quite a thing in making it home because the vehicle, one of the easiest ways to power up your vehicle, or should I say, move your vehicle, is through sails. So we were like, okay, we know we're going to have wind power, and then we have a few other panels that seem to make sense that generate wind or interact with wind. So propellers and bellows seemed the obvious two that playing around with. So we added in this mechanic that bellows generate wind and then propellers and sails respond to wind. The player generates, as well as the atmospheric wind that was in the game anyway, which was powering your sails.
Ooh, another chest.
And even then we went as far as to say that, like, wind power could help you. Yeah, you could buy some from the man. I think you got enough. Didn't you?
There'd be something good.
You could, so yeah, that was kind of a big deal, and then we've been playing around with that. It's lots of fun. Patreons will see that in our prototype videos. Eventually, those will be released to mailing list subscribers and Discord users as well. But at the moment, that's for Patreon. So if you're super keen to find out what we've been doing on that, do check that out on Patreon.
Yeah, we kind of like. We're kind of thinking about, like, we want to get a Steam page up before we really go fully public, right? Because it's important to capture that kind of
initial buzz, right?
Yeah. But like for you guys that are following us and on a mailing list, then.
Ooh,
Bullet King.
Yeah, I like this guy. So yeah, and then that's what Sean's been doing. I've been doing a lot of writing for games here as well, which is for that I've been using something new. I think I might have talked about it on screen before.
I can't remember.
It's Ink, which is the nice blank there. Which is the program produced by Ink Studios, or Inkle Studios, should I say. The people behind 80 Days, a game we've also featured on the stream. And it's a really intuitive, light, easy to use writing program. I think we're largely with programming people in mind, kind of, because obviously, you're rewriting for a game. So it's a great program to use for interactive narratives. Even if you aren't planning on making a game of it, you can export in a bunch of different file formats. That's a shame, but second run, same as the first.
Yeah. But I had that moment where I had that weird gun and I ended up losing a lot of health.
You did. I think you can do better.
I need water. That's what I need.
Mm-hmm. Every good Marine needs to stay hydrated.
Yeah. So, let's think about pacing now of this game. So, what's going on then? What have I got? I've got like a golden. It's got a golden bullet now next to my health. Is that new?
I don't think so. Pacing. Well, it's roguelike what do you mean by pace? Like, what pacing here is to discuss?
I don't know. Like, do I feel like I'm making progress? This is all about me getting better, right?
Yeah, this is just. I mean, I can't imagine this game changes in that sense too much. Like, you just got to get better at the game, right? You learn new. I suppose learning new. That's like something, but like, that's not just getting better at shooting things. That's getting learning,
learning seeing enemies, new enemies. Like, it's not very obvious to me what if anything I'm permanently unlocking. Like, normally with roguelikes, that kind of thing happens, right? Ooh,
nice.
That's much better.
So yeah, I don't know. Like, there is the Ammonomicon, brilliantly named, by the way, which is like information. But do you really care about that?
I can't. Like, is that useful information to me?
Well, no.
Well, I guess it's not obvious to me where that is. So at the moment, I don't really care about it.
Yeah, but it's not really important, though. That's the problem.
No, but
it's not a problem. It's just like, if that was the idea behind the game, was to get all the information, but it's not, is it? The point of the game is to get to the end, to fight the last boss.
Yeah, I think if it was more kind of obvious when it was happening and stuff, then.
But it's the same kind of like Spelunky had the same kind of diary system, and it didn't really matter. So, like pacing-wise, like I think if the levels are just about the right length, right? Because you're not like feeling like this is a complete grind and you're bored and you're just waiting to get to the boss, right? Like,
and they feel very different. Oh.
Yes. So that element of the roguelike procedural stuff is a real boon there, isn't it? Like, it doesn't feel like you're just having to go back through killing all these guys. It's fun. It's fun. If you don't like this kind of clearing the rooms of the lower level enemies, like, you won't enjoy this game, right?
So, why is it these games have kind of become so popular? What the hell was that?
So you mentioned GDC earlier and talking about like niche stuff. So one of the ones I've watched that you sent me, basically, because what tends to happen is Sean watches a ton of them and then picks his favorites to send to me. One of the ones I have watched is the guy who made 101 Life. Which I forget his name and his studio, so apologies, but remember his game name at least. And he was like, so a big part of like contemporary or like, whoa, holy Christ.
Yeah. Oh my god.
So we need to talk about the design of guns in a mo, because like it's brilliant. But anyway, the thing he was saying about like
I can freaking bounce this thing off walls.
Yeah, it's insane. The thing in contemporary gaming is that like the experience people are looking for is not one of like a linear playthrough, but of something that generates unique experiences each time you play.
Yeah.
And that's why I think roguelikes became such a big deal. Is because every time you enter the gungeon, right? Like, it generates what feels like a relatively unique experience.
Yeah, through the different guns that have dropped and the maps. Even like
what enemies are in what rooms. Like the combination of enemies, right? Like that's huge too. Because I was often like, you often be like, oh god, not a dynamite with a wizard.
But it's interesting because like Dark Souls is really popular, and like that is just doing the same thing over and over again.
Yeah. Yes. So maybe that's that's a really good exception that maybe proves the rule. I don't know. Because you're right.
Why does that get a pass?
Maybe because it owns, like, it's so extreme that's like. It owns that, right? Like it says, like, it's not just that, oh, there's only one, you're playing linearly through this game, there's only one way to do it, and here it is, start to finish. But it's like, you are gonna have to bash your head against this for 20 times.
Yeah. The trigger twins.
Nice. But anyway, so that's what I think one of the major appeal of roguelikes is, right? That's amazing that you can try and bounce it off and get both of them. So like simulation games obviously manage that like very naturally, because you can just boot up a new world and certain, it's going to be different, right?
Hands are not big enough for this. Like.
Every time you start intelligent design, your world is going to be different because of the millions of variables that are going on at any one time. Cycle 28 gives you that sense as well, because you don't know which enemies are going to be where, and
and like the bosses you get, right? So you always get
just like this. It's kind of like a Rolodex of bosses, and it could spawn anyone at any of the boss spawn points.
Oh so, no!
the experiences feel different. Oh, you're gonna have to rely on a different gun each time. And why? Like one of the big reasons I think that's great and been such a big deal in modern gaming is the effect of streaming and YouTube and people watching people play video games. Because like once you've watched someone play a narrative game through, like you're not going to go back and watch them play it again. Like it's like that person probably won't even want to play it again. Whereas, you know,
oh no,
the obvious one being battle royales, right? Like that's the really obvious one.
Yeah. People
watch them over and over and over again because every experience feels different, even within the same rule subset, even within the same game.
God.
You can do this, Sean. You're fine.
Come on.
You're such a drama queen. I believe in you. Yeah. First boss down.
Yes.
Nice. How's that feel? How's that
good.
feel? Describe that feeling. Well,
it feels
fresh.
Good. And like, yeah. What is? I still don't understand what that thing is. That like an armor? Oh, it's my helmet.
Maybe. Yeah.
So
you definitely want that gun.
Yeah, I do.
You can only carry a finite number of guns.
I've got them all at the moment.
Okay, cool.
Oh, that looks kind of cool.
So yeah, we need to talk about the ridiculousness of the design of these guns.
Yeah, let's talk guns.
So like, we managed to get past the whole people don't like guns, some people don't like guns thing earlier, so we can just dive straight into how cool guns really are and how inventive they are in this game.
Yeah, yes, and I think that's a big part of it is that you like. I was always finding new guns in that. You know, in what I just did, like the idea of it not getting old. Like I'm still finding like I don't know what these do. Well, it's water, right?
Yeah. Do they make it slippy? Do they slip over? No.
I still don't get a sense of it. Is this gun better or not? Do the guns get better? Like,
well, I think like, I mean, they do, but there is a variability there, isn't there? Like some guns do feel, but I think that's slightly player dependent.
Yeah. I think that's the so then it's the like in Cyber 28 that you had the thing where everyone had their own favorite gun.
Yeah. And
everyone was like, "Oh, you've got to use this one." But then that was oh no, oh, I can't get out. Oh, they all got run over.
Yeah, can you dodge roll out of explosions? I don't know if you can.
I thought so. That would be inconsistent if not, right?
Yeah. So yeah, you just got to time it right, presumably. But yeah. So like, I'm sure everybody has, but there's so many in Gungeon. I'm sure everybody has their favorites and ones they think are like stronger than others.
Do you think they like? So that's an interesting one then. Like, are all these guns balanced or are they all unbalanced?
No,
like,
I don't think that they're probably. I mean, maybe I'm doing them disservice, but they don't like. I don't think so. I don't think they are balanced. Like they might be. Like, how could you balance that ray gun in any real sense? Like, you could say how much damage it does, right? Like, that's the one thing.
Yeah. But then surely that would feel bad if you knew that there was a certain gun that was like the best gun, and you did a run and you didn't get it. You'd be like, oh well, I didn't, you know. Oh no, what the heck?
But there are so many good guns. Like I'm like, I wouldn't even be like, if you felt you could only win the like do well at the game with one gun out of the 70 odd that there are. I think you're probably going to miss the point of this game. Like, I just don't think people think that way.
Well, do they not? Like, surely, I think they do, don't they?
No,
like,
not with this kind of game. Like, so you telling me that you would go onto a forum or website to try and find out what the best gun in Enter the Gungeon is, and then restart every run you didn't get that early?
I wouldn't know, but I think I wouldn't be overly surprised if people.
No, I don't think anyone who plays this game does that. Because you're not having fun then, are you?
But people don't like. That's.
I know. As soon as I said that, I was like, well, that's a subjective idea. Blah 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 blah.
Well, no, it's more like the people will do things that are unfun if they are like the easiest way of doing things.
That isn't the easiest way of doing things.
But if it was a clear like, I can only win if I get this gun at this point, then people would totally just bail on a run. It's like
I don't think it's I don't think it's that kind of I don't think, as like JR said, like the part for a lot of people of fun is dealing what you've been handed.
Yes, and I think yes, that is the draw, right? That's the idea.
Yeah, because like one is like there's random elements that I know random's a dangerous word to use, but RNG elements if you prefer. Like when you find a key, when you find a chest, when a gun drops, things like that. There's too much RNG, I think, in this game inherently for people to be like, oh, I didn't get that first time, so I'm going to restart.
Oh, surely this has got to be good against the fire person.
Oh yeah, he didn't like that.
Yeah, but it's like the equivalent of Splunky of like, oh, I knew if I got the there's certain items that are like, oh, this is going to be a good run. Is there a key?
Well, yeah, but you can still screw up. Like I don't like none of those things, including any of the weapons that you found so far, felt so ridiculous that you're like, well, I don't have to play the game anymore. I am just immune to everything or whatever, right?
Yeah, no, but then therefore they kind of have to. There has to be an element of balancing. That apparently doesn't work.
Yes, fair enough. If you're talking about like balancing
key up
being
top. I got the key, but does the key open this? There's a guy here with a mouth. Guess that key doesn't work for it.
Yeah. So yeah, is there? Yeah, just.
Okay, there's a huge key. Okay, so I need to find a huge key. Let's go this way. Yeah. See, but now I'm like in the position where do I want to save? Can I get? Oh, I can get ammo for my moon scraper. Cool.
But that's also a thing, right? Like, so you think one gun's better than another. Well, you want to save it for the boss. You don't want to use it for the little twiddly bits.
Yeah, but I guess like for us, like the reason I'm bringing this. Okay, the reason I'm bringing it up. Oh.
So you're thinking if players find an optimum, what they think is an optimum thing to do, they will always do it. Like if it's the easiest thing.
No, I mean, like okay, so in the game we're making now, there's a concept. You're building your things. You're building your vehicle, with these panels. Oh, with what the. Stuff's happening. Oh no!
Yeah. Nice. Oh yeah, those Iron Maidens are legit. Ooh.
Yeah. So like we got this idea of you have panels, right?
Mm-hmm.
And what if you wanted a specific panel in your build and you didn't get it because of the randomness? Would that feel good?
So there's a couple of things. There's a couple of factors that need to be at play there. One, I think, is how many panels you do have and how often you get access to them. So, like in this example, you get a lot of guns. It feels relatively. And you get access to them quite quickly. So even if you really liked the Moonraker and you didn't get the Moonraker, you at least got something else, and it's maybe it's not as fun, but they're all designed in a way that they're at least a bit fun, right? So so that's probably going to help a little bit. So for us, we need to know that if the player really wants a panel, we have to just make sure that they get other panels which are equally as fun but in different ways, and as objectively fun as anything can be, and that they do that at a rate that keeps them distracted from the fact that they didn't get the thing that they want. So that's one thing.
Yeah.
The other thing that I think is very important as well is that idea of, could someone get that further down the line, and how long are they going to have to wait for that further down the line to be? So if you didn't get the gun you wanted in that chest, how far away does the next chest feel?
Yeah.
And if it feels very far away, that's disappointing, and your disappointment's going to be real. If the next chest's pretty close, you're probably going to handle that disappointment in a different way.
Yeah. Oh, the shadow clone thing is cool. Have I started on the same level? Am I back to the first level now?
I think so. Yeah. So in that sense, so it's the roguelike element, isn't it? Which we're not going to do. Our game is not going to be roguelike in that sense.
Yeah. So our game isn't going to have a fail state, really. Right?
Yeah. And that was one of the things that people were saying, of Cycle 28. Well, this is a roguelike, is because how's that? Because you keep coming back, right? You keep kind of starting.
It's weird.
What does that shadow clone do? Sorry.
It creates another version of you that also fires.
Oh, nice. What do you think that heart of ice did? Oh, have you got an extra heart? No. Yes, maybe.
I don't know. Well,
because I've played this multiplayer mostly, I tend to not really know what any of the abilities do.
Yeah.
Okay, so yeah, good call, JR.
So what are we looking for? The heart of something.
Heart of ice.
Is it an item?
Well, I thought so.
There we go. This fires ice projectiles on taking damage. Right, okay.
Ooh,
well, of course, I never take damage, so that's why we can understand what that did. Oh.
So, yeah, I know this is something that you are quite rightly concerned about, Sean. And I always need to try and rein in that kind of personal experience or feeling of saying no one's ever going to think that, whereas you quite rightly say someone somewhere will. So I need to, that's part of our development, is to try and say, what are the ways you can game this, what are the ways you can have a bad experience from this, etc., etc.
Yeah.
What are people?
Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, yeah.
Because one of the things we are noticing, I think, in development as well, is that you get into that developer's mindset when you're playing, that you know what's going to work out as fun and exciting because you put it in there. And you design these things so that they do that to get, the synergies, for instance. You can't guarantee that your player is going to see those.
Okay, yeah. So let's think about this game. Do the enemies and guns, do they get cooler as you go along? I feel like that's happening. Yeah.
I don't know. I think there's the enemies. Yeah, yes, they do. Yeah.
So when they were designing
guns are random. I think.
When they would. cool. When they were designing this, like, they must have designed like the high-end enemies, and then they came back to play these first few levels. Did they think they were boring? And then did they ever, you know, you see what I mean?
Yeah.
Or find it easy, you know, like.
Yeah. Maybe, like, it'd be an interesting, like, yeah, that's an interesting question. I guess then then it's the value of, like, taking a game.
Oh, wow. Shows. Okay, that's cool. Yeah.
You know, getting your game into the hands of people who haven't been playing for months is, like, a key part of the development process, right? Like, and if they say, oh, these early bits are boring, you're like, well, okay, these early bits are boring, and, you know, maybe I need to...
Yeah, but do they feel... Because we've got this issue where we're designing kind of... We're coming up with new ideas and designing these new things, and then you think it makes the stuff that we designed initially that feel a bit more boring. Well, some of them flat out boring, and we've got rid of them, but but some of them were like, well, maybe it's just is this because we just know what's coming?
Yeah. Well, I think so. I think we've maybe come across both. I think one of the things that we were able to say was like, because the new panels that we designed changed the way the player was playing the game, which was from something that was like a static experience to a more movement involving experience. Like, it was more dynamic. Then, like, you just couldn't go back to playing the static version. It was just like, this is way worse. So what we have to do is, if we want those original panels to be part of the game, they have to be redesigned to be movement dynamic, or just like more dynamic than they were initially. They can still be in the game. Like, so to use an example, like, initially we designed the game to have 3 starting modes of propulsion. We had solar, sail, and pedal power. You got a bike, basically, right? And so the sails, you just have to go over to and press like an action button, like, quite for a short amount of time, and the sail would be put up once it was built. And you got your propulsion. You could go off and do other things, like collecting coins and building things and all that kind of stuff. So they had a small amount of maintenance to them. The solar panels had a longer maintenance, and then the bike, you had to be there all the time. If you wanted to get any propulsion from the bike, you had to be pedaling it.
Yeah, so you just sat there.
Yeah. And we were like, this is terrible. Like, why would, like, even if this becomes like the most powerful propulsion and I don't have to be on it all the time, it just feels like I could and or should be on it all the time. So, like, it was generating quite a negative feedback loop, right? Like, it was saying, you know, don't build new stuff, don't run off and find things, just stay here and pedal.
I probably shouldn't have done that. Oh, poo. Okay.
Why? What have you done?
I bought a worse thing.
Oh, okay.
I think the knife shield's worse. Yeah, go on. Sorry.
So that bike just had to be like, that's been shelved, like, at the moment, like, and then we've even like, that was like early iterations of the prototype, wasn't it? When we
we were like almost we were thinking about it in terms of board games, really.
Yeah,
in a way.
So but since then, that design idea has kind of pushed both sails and solar panels into a different space as well, right? Like, so initially, like, there was no real difference. Well, the difference between a sail and a solar panel was the time it took to activate them. Like, a solar panel just took double the amount of time, kind of a thing. Now you have to clean the solar panel by moving left to right, holding the action button down, right? So that's gone from a just stand still and hold the action button to moving and holding the action button. And it's a small change, but it sounds like a small change, but it was a huge difference to how those solar panels felt in the world. And it was because this idea of the player has more fun in our game when they are moving player character model loads than when they are moving, stopping for a period of time, and then moving.
Oh man, cannot be talking right now.
No, I just appreciate you making noises while I talk game design.
This is going so bad.
So that was a big. At least you got that ice thing kind of giving you a little bit of a kickback. So that was one like big kind of design change about like our player experience and a predicted player experience. How on earth did we get onto this topic?
You're just talking about like boring stuff, or like how do you where do you know something's boring?
Boring, yeah. Okay, cool. So I think as a developer, you need to try to be as honest as you can. This is really tough. This is really subjective, etc., etc. But if you're finding something boring, you cannot ignore that. You can't go, oh well, I find this boring, but everyone else who plays the game is not going to find it boring.
Yeah.
Just in the same way, you have to be a bit skeptical when you say, well, I find this super exciting, so everyone else will find this super exciting.
Testing. That's the...
Yeah, that's it. So if you're not...
this is going so badly now.
If you don't have a huge online Discord community, if you're not a developer on your ninth game, that's the kind of thing is like you just you find your most local game scene and get people to play it. Like we're lucky in Cardiff. We've got Games Wales, we've got Arcade Vault, we've got lots and lots of places where people are running games events where indie devs can take their projects, get your game into other people's hands and see if they are, if people enjoy it, what people find boring. People will give you their feedback. They will be brutally honest.
Yes. Evening, everybody that just joined.
Solar panel for southern means of power. Is there dynamic weather system?
Hang on, wait. I beat a boss already. Thank you very much.
Yeah, you did.
I did. And I feel like I beat that boss pretty convincingly.
Yeah, so you beat one boss out of what? 4? Is that right? We're at 25% kill rate.
It's not important.
Wait. You were the. That was anyway, yes. More important questions. Is the weather the weather is dynamic? So that some routes across the America, it will surprise you to know, have more sunshine than others.
Well, it's an interesting question. I was kind of in my head wondering if that was something we even needed anymore.
I think it would probably be. Why would we get rid of it?
Just because maybe it's too much stuff to ask the player to consider. When we're finding the interesting part of this game now is actually building panels and seeing how the panels interact with each other.
Yeah,
I don't know. I think to me, you always try and cut things until we should question every system.
Yes,
is it adding anything?
But I think we wanted, didn't we, that idea of planning, and if you planning your route needs to matter, and if it's going to matter, then things like that are going to be part of why it matters. Maybe.
I mean, potentially, right?
Otherwise, it's just I can go up, I can go left or right, and it doesn't matter. Yeah,
because
a bit like a roguelike, going left or right doesn't really matter. You're going to go.
Because at the moment in our current build, we don't have any. The weather doesn't matter. And I still... right?
Well, why does it not matter?
Because every route is the same.
Oh, well there you go. That's the difference, isn't it? Just don't make every route the same and then it matters.
Well, yeah. But, you don't miss it. There's still plenty of...
Oh, yeah.
That's my point. It's there's not, it's an added complexity that we might not need.
Sure. But the point would be that in the current builds of the prototypes, you don't spend a lot of time on the map screen.
Mm-hmm.
And why don't you? Because there's nothing to do, right? So it's whether or not you want the player to
What's that guy got? Like, oh, I see.
Did you see that chest, by the way?
What?
There's a chest in the previous room.
I can't go
I'm
back
sure
there.
it's going to still be there. But there are certain things that will be progression based that we're playing around with, like within those systems, within the weather and the solar panels and things like that. Like at the moment we're still very much within the kind of vertical slice of the game. So, but we have ideas for how your solar panels might improve as the game goes on, or get worse, maybe even. Oh, it's our old friends, the lowercase r.
Yeah. 1, 2, or 3.
3.
What?
I love how you ask me that before, like, ascribing the.
Yeah.
Any numbers.
Yeah. Then I have to figure out.
Okay, so
I'm like, what does that even mean?
So are you a Gungeoneer, Ben? You sound like you are if you kind of meet Bullet King with a slightly trickier boss for level 1. just
What?
I'm assuming either you were telling me to be quiet or you were trying not to swear. Oh yeah, nice.
God.
It's good on Switch too. I've said this already on stream, but it is good on Switch when you've got a few friends round.
Yeah, I wouldn't mind. We were hoping that we could play this together, but no online.
Yeah.
We've been thinking about whether it would be a good idea for us to play games at the same time together or not. Not just in general, but like for the stream.
yeah. Not in general. Like, I don't need to play games with you, Sean. But yeah. Yes, that would be. That'd be fun, right? Like, I think we could do that.
I suppose the risk is always like that we're just both concentrating on our game and then not talking.
Yes, yeah, it would have to be a very specific kind of game, I guess, right?
Yeah, I was wondering. So, like, I've been watching a stream on Giant Bomb. They were playing Red Alert 2.
Okay.
Which, like, is probably one of my favorite RTS games, and like, there's not really any games like that anymore. Like, kind of like, because I've upgraded this gun, now it's saying pow pow rocket rocket. This game is so good. There's some really good details like that, which they didn't need to do, right?
Yeah, do you know how big the studio is?
I don't know, but like, it feels like really big, right? It feels like this is made by someone like
it was. Yeah, there was a lot of time.
Yeah,
a lot of like working people hours have gone into this game.
Yeah.
Right? Did it release in early access?
Oh, I've got like a cell key. Did it release in early access? Possibly. What's this? Okay, right. Underbus. I want to save that. I quite like my R though, so I think I'll save that for the boss. Okay, this is another one with a wind up. Okay.
Yeah, you have to cut. That changes how you play massively, doesn't it? Really?
Yeah. So much that I'm just going back to my R. I like my R.
More of a streaming it out kind of guy.
Yeah. Oh, is that the cell down there? Alright, now I get to see what this is all about.
So this is on level 1 though?
Yeah.
No, yeah, it is. I thought this was something we found on level 2 before.
I should get back to the shop. It's been closed way too long. You should come by. We're on top level. Ah, okay. So there, I've unlocked something.
In the breach. Okay.
So that's interesting. That's where the kind of permanence comes from, right?
Yeah. I guess that makes sense. Like if you do things like Darkest Dungeon, it, you know, what changes often is the town. Why shouldn't? Yeah.
Top or bottom?
Bottom.
Okay. Yeah, Red Alert 2. So I thought, like, I would love to do. Did you play Red Alert? Those games?
Yeah, I was never very good at RTSs, but I did play some. I did play some Red Alert.
Do you have StarCraft 2?
I don't, but I'm more than willing to.
It's like we could do like comp stomps. We could do it with what's the Warhammer World of like Warhammer game? Ooh,
Total Warhammer.
Yeah.
I don't know, man. Like my PC struggled a bit with Jurassic World. It really doesn't like Total Warhammer.
Yeah, but I thought those would be kind of cool. Like you could do a co-op, more like co-op games. We're more likely. Whereas if we're playing against each other, then like we're not going to talk, are we?
Well, I mean, no, this is crazy talk. I know, but what about like a couple of weeks of Stellaris? We tried to play a little bit of that before.
Yeah. Yeah. That could be. We could do like that's kind of a.
That could be a bit more chill
What do people think? Stellaris, something you'd like to see? Right, let's.
And Stellaris, like I've seen people like do long-term, like really long video stream stuff of that. So,
how would we do it then? Because we. How would that work? As a two-player co-op.
So, I'll throw some ideas out, and you can just you can ignore me. It's fine. So it's like when we've done some stuff in the past, when we've recorded, haven't we? We've done stuff like YouTube lets you choose to put two.
Yeah, that was before we were using like Restream.
Yeah. So,
I mean, we would just have like. I suppose we could easily take it in turns week on week. Who was the person that you saw?
Yes, yeah. Come on, Sean, you're so close.
Yeah, I did it, but like I've got half a heart left, which is not going to be good.
So yeah, like you're right. Like we would just maybe week 1 follow you, week 2 follow me, kind of thing.
Yeah. But would we be working together? Like, how would that? Because
yeah, I think so, because we're never going to get to the point in the game. Like it's like we've defeated all the other civilizations that we would need to defeat, and it was just you versus me. Like that would be like days into it, right?
Yeah, and that would be like it's quite a chill game, right? So we could talk about like what we're up to and stuff.
Yes.
But yeah, so and that's similar to like a strategy game, and it's one of these as well. It's like one of these like what's that? What do we call them? The unique situation generators.
Oh, yes, it is. It is. It's funny because the more you think about it, like it's harder games that aren't like that now. Like, at least like to a greater or lesser extent. What game is not generating a unique like experience?
Well, we don't know because they're not selling. So like we wouldn't have known. Like the only ones would be I don't know, Obra Dinn.
Yeah.
Surely, right?
Has that not, that
it's like a murder mystery.
Okay.
Like The Witness would be another one.
Well, yeah, he raises The Witness as being the one like really good example of a game that.
Yeah, like but those are games that like those win because of the developers, right? Like it's like we always say the thing you can never. If you say something like, "Oh well, the Breath of the Wild did it," well, yeah, okay, but yeah, great.
But I mean, Breath of the Wild goes out of its way to generate unique experiences.
1, 2, 3, 4.
4 through its.
Oh yeah, no, but I meant as an example of like, you can't compare.
No.
It's like the kind of people. Oh, what?
But I think that's a good point. Like stumble across a mini-boss. Because like a Zelda game would traditionally be like a really good example of a game that does not generate a unique experience.
Yeah.
Like, or a Final Fantasy game, right? Like, you could be like, well, you know, if you've done Midgard, I've done Midgard, we've both pretty much had the same experience doing Midgard.
Yeah.
It's like,
that was not good placement. Like this is not fair. This room is not fair.
Things getting a little bit harder on level 2.
Yeah. Okay, right. So, oh no. Oh man.
So that's something that definitely changes from level 1 to level 2.
Oh, there's spikes in these damn things.
The environment, right?
Yeah.
Like the environment gets like way trippier.
I have a bloody key.
Yeah.
I go all the way down here and no key.
Well, you can. It's got a teleporter in there, hasn't it?
Yeah. Okay.
That makes things easy.
Yeah. God, what's gonna happen when I destroy these things?
Ooh. Nothing.
The altar is. Oh, I guess I need to put something in that altar, but. Yeah. I lost track of what we were talking about. Like, maybe doing a stream on thingy. What's it?
On like a chill out kind of co-op-y type game.
Yeah. Okay. What isn't? What's the?
So I guess, yeah. Now you're dead. We can talk about it. Like one of the example he used, which again is interesting, is the narrative game.
Mm-hmm.
Narrative, like a walking narrative game. So what he was pointing out, okay, is not that this was a talk of GDC, a guy at GDC, was not that these games can't be successful. Of course they can be successful, but if you're not successful, like if you're not a massive hit, like Oberdin, like Firewatch, like what's the Gone Home.
Yeah.
Okay. If you weren't like a massive hit, like one of those, the way you get a large number of concurrent players, like shall we say a disproportionately large number of concurrent players,
Yeah.
to what you would expect of that scale of game and size and success, is you're generating unique experiences each time.
Yeah. It's about getting people to talk about your game and play it and stream it. Like it's getting, yeah, it's that you're not going to benefit from that as much, I guess. Is that kind of part of it?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah. Like that culture of which we are obviously deeply in. Whether or not we will be moving out of it anytime soon, I don't know.
Yeah.
But of people, influencers. Driving a lot of sales, a lot of people playing games because they're watching other people playing the same games, and so on and so forth. We sent out a bunch of Cycle 28 keys to people who play games on streams and stuff. And some people did play them and enjoyed it, and great. But did they make? How many videos did those people who enjoyed it? How many did they make? They made 1 or 2 videos, right?
Yeah. Because it's not. Whereas Intelligent Design, I've forgotten his name, but multiple people made multiple videos.
Yeah. So Randomized User made.
Yeah.
What's the other? Nucrium.
Nucrium, yeah, made a whole series of
series of videos.
Yeah.
And that's because the experience is evolving as you're going. It's also because the experience takes a lot longer.
Yes.
Fair enough. So that's a factor, but also that this guy who was giving this talk was saying people are just playing his game to find those new kind of weird, wonky experiences and record them and share them with people.
Yeah. Yeah. Right, Dave.
You're jonesing for
I am. Yes. So I have. So
you have entered the Gungeon.
I entered the Gungeon, and this more like Fungeon.
Yeah, nice.
So here's a kind of I realize now the loop in a way. I suppose I never got to this before, so I just unlocked a bunch of stuff that I guess I'm now going to see in chests and things.
Nice.
And that's what those green things I've been picking up were. So on top right, I've got 7 of those. So there's the kind of there's the loop.
Okay.
I like this game again. I love these games, but they're kind of a time sink, aren't they? Like I've not played much of Dead Cells
what
really,
game isn't?
but like more so than other games, I think.
You think?
And maybe, yeah, I don't know what, but why don't like yeah? I suppose I'm playing Destiny and Division,
Well,
which are kind of similar, but I play them because I play with other people. I think. Maybe?
Okay. Yeah, that could be the big difference maker in games.
Whereas, like, yeah, I tend to. So, like for Stellaris, like I've played one game of Stellaris. So it like one proper game because they're quite long.
Yeah. Yeah.
So if we can play some kind of like long-term games on stream, that would be a good way. That would make me want to play it and keep playing it.
Sure.
And I guess like for me, like I said again, like those of you on the mailing list will have, like I talked about this in the email on the weekend, but like I feel like if I have time to play games, I want to be making games now. And that's a great thing, and I love that I can do that. But it does mean that I you know, I'm not spending as much time playing. So, yeah.
Yeah.
Yep. Cool. Well, thanks everyone for coming along. Everybody. And we will be back next week. Yep. So we will probably do the thing we just said, maybe.
Yeah, maybe, or
you could jump into the Gungeon.
Show the world how bad I am at Enter the Gungeon. That's the other
we
option.
Could see who gets further.
I don't know if that's going to be worth it.
I don't know. We'll see. I kind of maybe the Stellaris thing. Kind of, I like the idea.
That's tickled you.
Yeah, I think that would be interesting.
We won't get far in Stellaris in an hour and a half. But...
No, there's also like we could do Factorio together. Factorio's co-op.
Okay, that could be interesting.
That would be interesting to do, right?
Yeah.
There's a game called The Islander. Have you seen that?
Oh yes, yeah. I think Ben did a review of that.
Yeah. So I was thinking of maybe grabbing that.
Okay.
So that there was an interesting thing that the first thing in that game is it offers you a choice between like wind or solar or something like that, and I was like, I probably should bring this.
Yes,
well, it's like it's really interesting and really cool looking. Yeah, right. It is absolutely roasting in my office today, so I am gonna drop it here.
Cool. Where can people find us, John?
Head over to, and I will put the link in. We have the power of chat. I'm just going to put in the link, pillbug.zone. And yeah, sign up to the mailing list. You'll get hold of like free soundtracks. Follow us on wherever you're watching us. We're on Twitter, Twitch, YouTube, Mixer now.
Mixer.
Yeah. Which seems pretty cool. Like I had a look at that and it seems neat.
Shout out to the Mixer crowd. Yeah.
Yeah. Cool.
Cool.
Right. See you guys next week. 8 o'clock.